Hey guys, what's up? Here's Max. Dragon Ball Kakumei is without a doubt one of the biggest Dragon Ball fan stories out there. All this success happened for many reasons. Among those reasons is the fact that the art of this story is absolutely impeccable. In addition to the excellent quality of the drawing, the story also has a great plot idea, telling us a story that almost every Dragon Ball fan would like to have seen after the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super. All this quality in the design, the good plot idea, and also the passion of the producers makes Dragon Ball Kakumei what it is today, one of the best Dragon Ball fan stories ever created. We here from the Kakumei channel also admire this story a lot, and from today we will bring a series here on the channel telling you the whole story of Dragon Ball Kakumei. Ready to start this incredible adventure? Well, stay connected in the channel and let's go to the video. Among all the enemies the Z Warriors faced during their odyssey, a formidable new Saiyan appeared and Goku and Vegeta had to go the extra mile to defeat the foe. Those who needed to unite their powers to defeat that monster they were facing, Broly. Thanks to his pure heart, Goku was able to see great goodness inside Broly, and so a friendship was starting to be born. When all was quiet throughout Universe 7, an event from the past was about to bring about a future problem. The consequences of a benevolent action are about to impact the future on a grand scale. On planet Sadala, Caulifla asked Champa to train her. She wanted to learn some secret technique, but Universe 6's God of Destruction was more concerned with relaxing a little. But Champa's tranquility ends when he notices something that makes him spit out his drink. He feels something and wonders what's going on. A short time later, an earthquake begins surprising Kale and Caulifla. Caulifla, thinking that the weather event was the work of Champa, asks if this is a secret technique he will teach her today. But Champa, ignoring the girl's question, asks Vados what Beerus is doing in that universe. Universe 6's Angel doesn't answer the question, but says that it's curious. Meanwhile, Caulifla, still thinking that this is a technique she will be taught, transforms into a Super Saiyan and tells Goku that the day for their rematch is coming. But Kale, alongside her friend, doesn't seem to be in much of a rematch mood. In Universe 11, Toppo is kneeling before Belmont, and Margarita watches them both. Something important seems to be being discussed at the moment. But this is interrupted when they also notice the tremor as they feel Goku's energy. Margarita comments that the feeling is that they are very close to them. On the planet Earth of Universe 7, the situation was even more serious. Many tornadoes and whirlpools ravaged the city. A bus is being carried by the wind, but Krillin, acting like a good policeman, saves that bus using his superhuman strength, and after putting the bus on the ground, guides the passengers to get out without panic. After doing so, while looking at the sky with a disapproving expression, the Dwarf Warrior asks Goku in his mind if he doesn't think his unbridled pursuit of power is already going too far. Goku was in the middle of a seemingly very intense fight. The Saiyan was emanating an enormous amount of power, and his opponent was Beerus himself, who also unleashed a large amount of power. On Beerus's planet, Whis seems to be paying attention to the fight, but the Angel's attention is diverted to his staff, which has received a call. The call comes from the Supreme Planet, where the Supreme Kai and the other old Supreme Kai both seemed very curious and worried about what was happening. Shin apologizes to Whis if the timing is inappropriate, but he really wants to know what's going on. The universe is shaking, and he feels the aura of Goku and Beerus, and they both seem to be going crazy. Whis can explain to him what's going on. Whis explains the situation in short words. What is happening is the culmination of Son Goku's training. As Goku pays attention to his own power, Beerus accumulates energy in the tip of his finger and shoots at the protagonist, who dodges the attack, leaving a celestial body to be destroyed behind him, as the same happens with a celestial body behind Beerus. In the next moment, both were already close to each other, trying a powerful attack. Both dodge each other's attack, and the pressure of their blows destroys another nearby celestial body. Goku tries another attack, but Beerus dodges onto the Saiyan's back and lands a kick to his head, causing the protagonist great pain. But despite having received such an attack, Goku moves away from Beerus's foot at high speed, and while retreating, fires many key balls at the God of Destruction, who evades the attack. Beerus creates something like a rubber band with his energy, and with it he launches back some of Goku's attacks. The protagonist, seeing what his opponent has done, is very surprised at what is to come, and then a huge explosion happens. But Goku seems to be fine, and he brushes some of that smoke away with his arm, which surprises Beerus. The Saiyan moves at high speed, going from the blast site to the destroyer's back in an instant, and he does so already preparing an energy attack in one hand, while Beerus is only surprised by his opponent's great speed. Goku fires the attack, which launches Beerus away and causes the destroyer to destroy a celestial body that looks like a moon with his body, and then Beerus passes through what appears to be two small planets, also destroying what is in front of his body. Goku is happy with that attack, but the next moment, he's surprised by the God of Destruction's hand touching his face, and while doing so, Beerus prepares an energy attack. But seeing this, Goku escapes from his hand, surprising the god who misses the attack. After doing so, the Saiyan backs off and the destroyer goes after him while yelling at him to stop running. That doesn't suit him. On a planet called Gaia, a wild creature quietly drank water from a lake. But suddenly, Goku and Beerus appear in that place exchanging blows. The next moment, there is no more lake, and the animal has no fur. Goku continues running away from Beerus, who, maddened by the battle, yells for the Saiyan, who clearly scared of the situation. Beerus catches up to Goku, catching him by the ankle, and then the God of Destruction begins to spin the mortal, gaining incredible strength and speed. And after doing so, he launches the man with all his strength, and the speed with which Goku was launched is so great that it creates a beam of light in space. As he travels through space at full speed, Goku collides his body with what appears to be a small planet, and the poor planet cannot resist it, being completely shattered upon impact. After that, the Saiyan, still in locomotion, heads towards a larger planet called Taco Taco. Inside this planet is a city, people walking quietly, when a child sees something approaching from the sky. And then this thing crashes violently into the city's ground, creating a gigantic crater in that place. Goku, while buried in that ground, has an expression of great pain and suffering. The child approaches to see that person who has fallen on his planet, but a great light dazzles that boy's eyes, and then we see that in space, Beerus is preparing a great energy attack to launch against the planet. Goku, realizing what is about to happen, finally reacts, and while restoring his energy aura, tells the child to get out of there. Goku flies at full speed from the planet towards the moon, and as he does so, he wonders why Beerus wants to put an entire species in danger. But his musings are interrupted when he realizes that child is holding his leg. Beerus orders him to prepare, and then launches the attack, leaving Goku completely terrified. The energy globe released by Beerus completely engulfs that moon. What happened to Goku and the child? Meanwhile, on Beerus' planet, Whis comments on the fact that they left the planet 30 minutes ago. The Oracle Fish comments that to keep up with a fight against Beerus for so long, the Earthling is certainly amazing. After saying this, the Oracle Fish sleeps. Whis reveals to have a bad feeling. Should he join them? At that moment, the Oracle Fish reveals a prophecy. Something is working towards the end. There will be universal consequences. Whis gets scared hearing that. Does this prophecy have something to do with this fight that is going on planet Earth? Mr. Satan comments that the earthquake is over, and Boo reveals himself to be hungry. A party is taking place in a destroyed capsule corporation, surely destroyed because of the weather events that just ended. Chi-Chi, while getting things ready, says that Goku had better hurry. Videl, talking to her, tells her mother-in-law not to worry. He should arrive soon, and Gohan really wants to see him. As the two women say these things, Mr. Satan is introducing Pan to Majin Buu, who greets his best friend's granddaughter. Elsewhere on the planet, Gohan is watching the sky with Piccolo. Piccolo feels that Goku has reached the end of his training. Probably the protagonist's energy can no longer be felt, or maybe he deduced this from the stop of weather events. Anyway, deducing that Goku's training is over, Piccolo tells Gohan that his father will return soon. Gohan agrees with his master and says that speaking of training, he should go back to training. Piccolo is happy to hear Gohan's desire to defend his people, but what about his studies? While looking determinedly at a bird flying across the sky, Gohan says that he will find a way to reconcile the two things. In Universe 7, there is a planet called Fission, and on that planet, gravity is 2,000 times greater than Earth's gravity. But despite such powerful gravity, something crossed the planet many times at incredible speed. This person flew around the planet, destroying many rocks. That person is Vegeta, who, in addition to being on a planet with such superior gravity, also uses apparently very heavy weights on his arms and legs. The Prince of Saiyans is not happy. He feels he is stagnating. These trainings are becoming useless. Vegeta's power is already so high that he can no longer find ways to increase his strength. After that, we go back a few minutes in time where on the moon of the planet Taco Taco, Goku has a terrifying wound, a result of the last attack Beerus made on him. Goku complains to the Destroyer, why did Beerus do that? He almost destroyed an entire civilization. But he is the god of destruction. Doing that kind of thing is his job. In other words, he's just working. That answer provokes a great anger in Goku, but he quickly fades the angry expression to a welcoming smile. As he does so, he addresses the boy who was with him, saying that everything would be fine. And now, we can see that the boy from planet Taco Taco is fine. Goku receives that the attack from Beerus on his way to protect the child. But after saying this to the boy, Goku faints. Seeing this, Beerus looks a little disappointed. He wanted to keep fighting, but it's okay. After all, Goku was still a mortal, and never had a mortal offered such a fight to him. Even among the gods, someone rarely manages to force him to use so much power. Goku, while fainting, sees many people in his mind. He sees Beerus saying something he doesn't understand. He sees the people from Earth. He sees Vegeta, who says he's completely on the ropes. And he even sees Baba, who tells him to wake up. But how did Baba appear there? Goku wonders what that place is, and then he sees water. That's good. He was really getting thirsty. But then suddenly a great power envelopes the Saiyans, surprising the child who was next to him. And in a single instant, before the boy could realize he was moving, he was already on the ground of his planet. After that, in another instant, Goku is already flying past Beerus, leaving the god of destruction surprised by his speed. Goku holds a celestial body, and then he starts to spread energy all over the region. And all the celestial bodies in that region of space are surrounded by a big energy dragon. This dragon, created by an absurd amount of energy, attacks Beerus, who is completely amazed at all that power coming his way. And the dragon does seem to hit something. But then something surprises Goku. The Destroyer's hand is on his shoulder. While emanating a different type of energy in a form that is very similar to Toppo's transformation during the Tournament of Power, Beerus tells Goku he must be proud. He can barely remember the last time he combined those two powers. Seeing Beerus behind him, Goku in a split second escapes the Destroyer by going after him. But Beerus says that is useless. Now the Saiyan is as fast as a turtle for him. Ignoring the deity's words, Goku glares at him seriously as he prepares a Kamehameha, where he is apparently going to put a lot of energy. As Goku does this, Whis remarks that they are really going far. The angel comments that Beerus hasn't used Ultra Instinct combined with the destructive form in a long time. He is recognizing Son Goku as a worthy warrior. While seeing Goku seriously preparing his attack, Beerus, very excited, says that he was already starting to get rusty. That would be a good exercise. But to everyone's surprise, as Goku was building up energy, something was happening, and then he seemed to have some kind of lapse. And to the surprise and disappointment of the God of Destruction and the Angel, the Saiyan falls down in a swoon. As Goku falls, Whis notes the power is difficult even for him to control. Beerus is very disappointed. He was getting really excited. Suddenly the Destroyer remembers something. What happened to his planet? On the Supreme Planet, Shin and the old Kaioshin were in their daydreams when Beerus and Whis arrive. Seeing the God of Destruction, Shin is startled, surprised by his presence there. Meanwhile, Beerus steals Whis' staff and heads towards the God of Destruction with a very intimidating expression. Frightened by that situation, Shin asks the reason for such a sudden visit. While threatening the Supreme God with the angel staff, Beerus menacingly asks if the God of Creation can fix his planet, to which he replies that he can. But Whis isn't really enjoying that. That staff was a precious object. It shouldn't be used in that way. When he arrives at Beerus' planet, Shin is very shocked by the state of destruction in that place. Whis laughs at the situation, but Beerus doesn't find it funny. Shin is very disheartened seeing the situation in that place. Beerus doesn't like his face. The Supreme Kai will be able to restore the planet, right? Shin says yes, he can fix it. But it will take a little longer than he expected. Beerus tells the Supreme Kai that this is good. And then he tells Whis that they should go back for Goku. his atmospheric aura must already be wearing off. Whis tells the destroyer not to underestimate him, then they head towards the mortal. Suddenly, a place that looks like a floating fortress is shown. That place is the Grand Priest's palace. There, Daishinkan is seated on a throne, and all the angels are gathered before him. The Father of Angels greets his children by thanking everyone for their presence. He says they already know why they're there, but their important information is missing. But before anything else, there is a rule. No word that is said in that place must come out of there. If the Omni Kings knows what is said in that place, heavy sanctions can be imposed. After notifying this to the 12 angels, Daishinkan begins to explain the situation. As everyone knows, Lapis, the Earthling of Universe 7, wanted to restore all the universes erased during the Tournament of Power. The problem was that request also caused the restoration of the 7 universes that had already been erased. One of the angels was confused by that information. There were 7 erased universes. Weren't there only 18 universes in the beginning? But Daishinkan replies no. One piece of information he never mentioned to any of them is that in the beginning there were 19 universes. This universe they don't know about was called Universe 0. All the angels are very surprised by that information. One of them asks the Grand Priest why he hid it from everyone, and the Daishinkan replies that it couldn't have been any other way. All the angels started creating theories with that statement from their father. Conspiracy theories. They deduced that perhaps Daishinkan may have thought there was a traitor among them. But then a mysterious character emerges among them all, and she claims that perhaps Daishinkan himself could be the traitor. Only when she speaks to the angels, they notice her presence, and even Daishinkan is amazed to see that person there. He, in thought, says that he should have known that would happen. As she passes among the angels, this mysterious woman says that the one they call father is just a coward, afraid to face the consequences of past deeds. Mojito asks who the hell this woman thinks she is to judge their father. But Margarita scolds her brother, saying that he must remain calm. No matter the situation, they must be neutral. The woman orders them to kneel, and then, in an absolutely unbelievable scene, all 12 angels kneel without even knowing why. And as they do, the woman says they have no idea how ignorant they are. She never abandoned them, and now she will tell them the story of this imposter's past. Planet of Beerus, a few minutes before the meeting between the angels take place. Whis asks how Goku feels. His fight was huge. The Saiyan apologizes. He admits he was so excited about the possibility of defeating Beerus that he went too far. But Beerus mocks what the protagonist just said. Defeat him? This young mortal is truly a dreamer. But Goku jokes about not being that young anymore. Whis asks Goku to get up. It's time to heal his wounds. Goku agrees but asks the angel if possible not to heal that wound on his back. He only wants to remove that scar when he's able to inflict an equal wound on Beerus. But the destroyer is not very fond of that statement. Whis laughs and agrees. After that, he heals Goku. The Earthling Saiyan is surprised to have been healed so quickly. That skill was as effective as the Sensu beads. That skill would be very useful in critical moments. But Whis jokes that all angels' powers are like that. The angel notices petals of a flower called Magnolia passing by and realizes that Shin, upon restoring the planet, decided to change some things. Beerus also noticed this and didn't like it very much. Whis asks what Goku intends to do now. The protagonist says he doesn't know yet. What he does know is that he has yet to improve Ultra Instinct. He can't imagine any other skill that is superior to this one. But even with the power, he still couldn't beat Jiren or Beerus. But at that moment, what he's going to do is go back to his wife and kids. Chi-Chi must be very worried. Whis is taking Goku back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Goku asks what Whis is going to do now. The angel replies that he has to check something. He has a bad feeling. That makes Goku curious. What could be so serious that Whis would worry? Whis looks silently at the Saiyan. He seems reluctant to answer that question, but then he decides to answer and explains that he feels a presence, a tremendous force concentrated in a single place that just wasn't there. Hearing this, Goku becomes serious and silent for a second, and then he asks Whis to let him take care of the situation, and while he asks, he puts his hand on the angel's shoulder. Whis, annoyed, orders him to remove his hand, but Goku doesn't obey, just stares at the angel seriously. Whis, with an even more serious expression and releasing a sinister aura, again orders the mortal to remove his hand from his shoulder, and he is apparently hurting Goku's hand with his ki. Goku stares at the angel, who stares back at him, until the protagonist finally gives in and removes his hand. After that, Whis says that it's not his job to take care of the problems of the universe. But Goku disagrees. That wouldn't be the first time, of course. This is his job. The angel is silent for a moment, then finally agrees to Goku's request. But he warns that he won't be able to go with Goku, as the Grand Priest has summoned him to a meeting. He uses the staff's magic power to create a button, and tells Goku that if he needs it, he just needs to press that button. Goku takes the button while thanking his master. Whis smiles. In his opinion, this situation was far from reasonable or wise, but Goku assures Whis won't be disappointed by letting him handle it. The two finally arrive at the location, and when they see what's there, they are absolutely shocked and seriously looking at it. They were contemplating the gateway to a new universe, Universe Zero. Now back to what's happening in the present during the angels' meeting. That mysterious woman keeps saying that she hasn't abandoned them, and that she's going to tell them the truth about this imposter's past, referring to the Daishinkan. She says he provoked a genocide, and believes she is on par with the Omni Kings. Daishinkan, who was once bound to his throne by that woman's power, is the same way that the angels were kneeling, finally reacts to her power and breaks her magic as he stands up and yells that he's had enough and orders everyone else to stand up. After the Daishinkan's power drains away from the mystery woman's power, the other angels are finally able to stand. And while doing so, the angels ask Daishinkan to explain what is happening, and who is this woman who looks like an angel. Daishinkan responds to inquiries. This woman is truly an angel, and more than that, she is the mother of them all. And she's not totally lying. He says that Universe Zero he just told him about was especially united and powerful. This universe released tremendous power that disrupted the balance of universes stabilized by the Omni Kings. Something had to be done about it quickly and without the king knowing. The woman laughs bitterly at those words. Act quickly? Maybe expanding space-time might be a quick move for you, but that's not what she would call dying fast. It might have seemed like a second to you, but to them it was billions of years of watching time tear their bodies apart. Daishinkan justifies that he doesn't have the same power as the Omni Kings. He didn't find another alternative. All the information shocks the other angels in that place. The woman asks if they heard what the Grand Priest said. He thought it wiser to hide his barbaric acts than to be honest with the king, but they shouldn't blame the Grand Priest. None of that was his fault, and not even the king's fault. While this was happening in the Grand Priest's palace in Universe 12, Jin seems to feel something that worries him. At the same time, in Universe 11, Belmod senses known energies. And then the woman reveals that what they have to blame is the system that forced their father to act. As she says this, a group of people arrive at the place. That group of people arrive through the sky, and from their words they seem to already know that place and the people who are there. Cuz recognizes them, and Whis confirms her thinking. They are the gods and angels of the destroyed universes. Those people also recognize Whis. One of them says that the angel is still sharp-minded. Another says wearily that he hopes Whis hasn't missed them so much. And another with a more aggressive behavior says an offense of the angel of Universe 7. And then we can see all these deities, angels, and gods of destruction of the erased universes face to face. Galen, the angel of Universe 13, comments that it's been a long time. Zeres, the angel of Universe 14, says he's glad to see them again. Vilspring, Universe 15's god of destruction, says he feels like he slept hundreds of times longer than Beerus. Magnak, Universe 16's god of destruction, notes that no one is hurt, and that means the fight hasn't started yet, so they arrive just in time for the party. Universe 17's angel, named Olorus, has a furious expression as he calls out Whis' name. Apparently he has some very strong grudge against Universe 7's angel. And while he calls out for the one he clearly hates, the god of destruction from this universe called Nisos tells Olorus to calm down. Vados, noticing something strange, tells Whis to look. But the angel of Universe 7 has already seen what she observed. At that moment, FRIEZA arrives at that place, who is already in his golden form. He greets everyone and says he wanted to thank Whis personally. FRIEZA is apparently the god of destruction of Universe 18, and he's accompanied by that universe's angel Twist. Seeing the once mortal from his universe, Whis says he thinks he understands what FRIEZA is planning to do. He says he knew when he brought Frieza back to life that he wouldn't do nothing, and he didn't expect him to make it this far. Frieza explains that Whis shouldn't underestimate him, that was just a foretaste. He tells that one of the commanders of his army, getting information from Zuno, told him about the appearance of new universes. Frieza comments that Universe 18's god of destruction was a wretch. According to Twist, he disagreed with the behavior of his universe. He didn't have the mind of a revolutionary. Apparently, he was a peaceful god. Frieza, on an encounter with this god, attempted an attack from behind him. The destroyer dodged, and as he glared at Frieza, the Emperor sarcastically said he missed. But actually, he had made a second attack, which went straight through the destroyer's body. Frieza sarcastically revealed that he was actually better left-handed. Frieza beats up the destroyer, tortures him, and steals his uniform. While remembering all this, the evil Emperor reveals that he wonders how that person became a god of destruction. But he says none of this concerns Whis anyway. Whis says he doesn't understand why Frieza got to this point, but he's right, it's none of his business. Frieza asks if Whis regrets resurrecting him. Whis says that Frieza is inconsequential. He has no idea where he is stepping, but Frieza can take the risk if he wants to. He just wants to know if Frieza knows where Goku is. Daishinkan is surprised by that question. What does Goku have to do with this conversation? Whis explains that before coming to this meeting, he observes Universe 6 along with Goku and left him there to investigate further. He gave a button for the mortal to call him if necessary, but Goku didn't use the button, and he can't feel Goku's presence because of Universe Zero's aura. Nysos asks if they are referring to the mortal who entered their base like a donkey. If that's the case, they needn't worry. He was very well received. In his thoughts, the Daishinkan tries to understand why they are keeping Goku imprisoned. The power of all of them is far beyond Goku's power. He's not a threat to them. Then why? Does he have any important information for them? But the woman, knowing what the Daishinkan is thinking, tells him not to act ignorant. She knows exactly why they are using Goku. And here she calls him Kaishi, which suggests to us that this is the Daishinkan's name in this story. While all this is happening at the meeting, taking place at the Grand Priest Palace, in Universe Zero, Goku is trapped and he is extremely injured. Furious, the Saiyan yells at those cowards to come back and asks what they want with him. After that, sad and with a defeated expression, he apologizes to Whis. Daishinkan asks the rebel gods and angels what their demands are. The answer is the destroyer of Universe 16, Magnak, who says they want the abolition of the divine hierarchy. And as he strikes Daishinkan's throne with his tail, he adds that they also want the removal of the neutrality that the Grand Priest is so obsessed with. Kuz is worried about her father, but he orders her to remain calm. Vildspring, the destroyer of Universe 15, circles the Father of Angels with great speed, and while doing so, he appears to be using some sort of illusionary technique. The destroyer tells the Grand Priest that this mindset blocks him, and why during the Tournament of Power the gods were erased but not the angels. What kind of hierarchy is this? Even knowing all this, does he still dare to proclaim himself as a guide? At these words from the god of Universe 15, Daishinkan remains silent. Next up is the god of Universe 14, Dromel. He's not as patient as his companions and says it's time to end the games and make it all happen. But Daishinkan challenges the brute god. What will he do? What can he do? Placing one foot on the Grand Priest's throne, the Mother of Angels says that a multiversal war will begin. The revolution begins now. Every individual must make a choice, must choose a side, and in the end only one side will remain. They will build a new world with a perfect balance. But suddenly Daishinkan surprises everyone by raising his arms towards them, and in a surprising way, he manages to freeze all those gods and angels. He does this while a fair amount of blood runs down his nose, and his vein bulges across his forehead. After doing so, Daishinkan falls to his knees. Kuz approaches him, worried, but he tells her not to worry. Kuz asks what he did, and he explains that he froze them all in space-time. But that's not over yet. They should teleport them to Universe O and do the same with that universe. Kuz, worried, asks if that wouldn't be harmful to his health. But the Grand Priest jokes about that situation, telling her not to be ridiculous. Daishinkan tells Kukatail to gather all the Supreme Kais and Kibido. With these 13 deities, they must get it. Kukatail manages to contact the Supreme Kais, and after explaining the situation to them, asks if they will be able to do the job. Kibido replies that it won't be an easy task, but since there are 13 of them, it should be enough. Whis tells the god of creation that all the formality wasn't necessary now. They can get up. Daishinkan agrees, then says that they should move on. On planet Earth, the party is underway. Videl and Chi-Chi carry the food and Android 18 offers to help them. Meanwhile, Majin Buu excitedly watches the meal arrive. He's hungry. Chi-Chi looks up at the sky, surely expecting her husband to come there. Videl sadly observes the wait for her mother-in-law. Chi-Chi heads inside Capsule Corporation as Videl watches her go. Goten asks how his mother is, and Videl tells her little brother-in-law that she's not sure. Videl goes after Chi-Chi and sees that she was crying. She approaches the older woman and tries to comfort her. Goku is just late. Chi-Chi knows how he is. While drying her tears, Chi-Chi forces a saddened smile and agrees. Videl must be right. Someone is getting ready in the bathroom. The someone is Gohan. He straightens his tie and looks at his appearance in the mirror. He doesn't look very happy. A short time later, he leaves with a much simpler outfit and looks delighted at the sky, which according to him is very beautiful. As he joins the others at the table, Gohan comments on the fact that his father hasn't arrived yet. Piccolo is behind him, and a little behind him, Bulma runs furiously after Trunks, who is playing with the dog. Seeing his mother's sadness when talking about his father, Gohan changes the subject and says it's time to eat. But then they notice something strange happening. On the planet Zaurus in Universe 11, Jiren is controlling a monster. He places a net in the monster's mouth and then knocks him out. After doing so, he also notices something in the sky. In Universe 6 on a planet named Geno, Hit is among the crowd watching a target, and using his time skip, he lunges at this man's back and kills him with a single blow. But he also quickly backs away, and as the man falls, the people around him have no idea what happened to him. After this happens, Hit also notices something strange. On planet Sadala, Kale watches Caulifla doing a series of push-ups. The Saiyan girl is already at nearly 20,000 reps. Kaba arrives and greets the two girls. Kale greets him politely, but Caulifla is a little harsher in her treatment of the boy and asks what he is doing there. Kaba says he wasn't doing anything in particular, just passing by. But before he could finish speaking, he notices something strange too. Caulifla asks what he's talking about. He points to what he's seeing. She looks and says she has no idea what that is. After that, she tells Kale to look. There's a ball in the sky. Kale says that it's very strange. Suddenly, a voice appears ordering everyone to listen. The one who speaks to them is Daishinkan, and he says the following words. Everyone listen to me. I am the Grand Priest of the Multiverse, and I come to bring direct orders to you from what you call God. I am addressing all life forms present in this world. An evil angel rebelled against me, and I froze her in time for a period of 2 years. A war between the universes will start once this delay is over. Every individual must be ready and choose a side. As the Daishinkan said these words, everyone was very confused about what was happening. After hearing the Grand Priest's short speech, Caulifla is very surprised. Jiren receives a call from Toppo by his communicator, who asks if he saw that too. Universe 11's mightiest warrior confirms he saw it. On Earth, Krillin is absolutely shocked by what he has heard. Vegeta, who has just arrived at the party, asks if they heard that. Trunks confirms that yes, they did. Goten, worried, asks if his father isn't with Vegeta. The older Saiyan says no, he thought Goku was already on Earth. While seeing his mother in tears, Goten replies no. And then we found out what we expected. Goku was frozen in Universe 0. Sometime later, Vegeta and Bulma are talking about the whole situation. Bulma says that if they're only 2 years old, they should get organized. Vegeta agrees and everyone must set a goal for themselves and find a role to play. He also says that they need to find Broly. He has great potential and could be useful. He asks Bulma to go after Broly and his friends, the All-Orange and the All-Green. Bulma says they have a name. Vegeta says that while Bulma does that, he's going to send Goten, Trunks, and Gohan to see Whis. Piccolo is meditating near a waterfall when he notices something strange, and then he sees someone approaching. The Namekian asks if he can help them. Meanwhile, Bulma, through a communicator, yells at Jaco, who is on another one of his galactic patrol trips. Apparently, Bulma asks him to go to Earth, but the patrolman refused, saying he was too busy. This resulted in the Earthling's fury. Unable to argue with her, Jaco simply accepts with an okay and a defeated expression. Seeing that the other patrolman was watching him, he tries to justify himself, saying that he can help a friend, right? Bulma is enraged, talking to herself, complaining about Jacko's lazy and selfish attitude. While watching his wife doing this, Vegeta picks up Bulma and takes her to another place. When Bulma is furious, not even the greatest warriors can stop her. As Vegeta is leaving, Bulma is complaining, but when he closes the door, Bulma cries and wanted to be with her mother. Gohan, hearing Bulma's screams, comments to Vegeta that there was a lot going on inside. But the Saiyan, seeing his daughter's bad mood, says that he wished something was happening only inside. Videl goes to Vegeta and offers to take care of Bulma, and the man thanks her. After that, Vegeta goes to Gohan and asks what he intends to do during these 2 years, train or study. Gohan replies that he intends to do both. Vegeta says that in that case, he has an idea to propose. He asks how Gohan feels about training with Whis. Goku was doing his last training with the Angel, but knowing them, Vegeta is sure they would agree to prepare Gohan as well. Goten and Trunks have already agreed to go. Gohan listens to Vegeta's idea in silence until he finally replies that he already has another idea of what to do during this time. But for Goten and Trunks, it might be good to use a hyperbolic time chamber that Goku mentioned to him once. Vegeta agrees. He will see what to do about the boys. But he asks Gohan to talk to Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Does he know anything they can do? After thinking for a few seconds, Gohan says yes. He knows something they can do. Gohan flies towards Krillin's house. Arriving there, he finds the bald warrior playing with his daughter, being watched by his wife. Seeing Gohan, Krillin asks how he is. Gohan says he's fine, and asks if he knows about Tien and Yamcha. Krillin says that luckily they are inside. Gohan asks if Krillin already knows what kind of training he's going to be doing during these 2 years, but the short man with an embarrassed smile tells Gohan to calm down. The conversation is interrupted when Gohan's phone rings. It's Vegeta that is passing an information given by Whis, who is already on Earth along with Beerus. Vegeta warns that according to Whis, Goku was in Universe 0 when the Grand Priest froze everything. This information leaves everyone absolutely shocked. Gohan, Krillin, number 18, Goten, Trunks all freeze for a moment, while Vegeta asks if Gohan has understood the information. Meanwhile, Piccolo is talking to someone, or rather, he's ignoring someone, turning his back on the visitors. The visitors are Saunel and Pirina, the 2 Namekians from Universe 6 who apparently got there with the help of their universe's Supreme Kai. Saunel tells Piccolo that they believe the best way is for them to join forces during these 2 years. Piccolo asks if they really think he can help. Pirina replies that they believe that everyone can help in some way. Piccolo says that in that case he agrees, but first he must do one thing. The Capsule Corporation spaceship lands on the planet Vampa while being watched by Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo. Chi-Lai greets Bulma, clearly already knowing who was on the ship. Bulma greets them all, her favorite aliens. Moving closer, Bulma takes a good look at Broly. He was bigger than she thought. Seeing this approach, Chi-Lai becomes jealous and asks what she came to do there, what she wants from them. Bulma asks if they saw the ball in the sky. Lemo finds that strange. Did she have that strange dream too? Bulma finds that strange. Apparently, they had a collective dream about the Grand Priest's message. Thinking for a few seconds, she deduces that this was the way the Grand Priest found to convey his message to those who were sleeping at that moment. So upon discovering that it wasn't just a dream, Chi-Lai, Broly, and Lemo are absolutely shocked. Is there really going to be a multiversal war? Bulma receives a call from Whis, who gives her the bad news about Goku, leaving the Earthling in complete shock. At Krillin's house, Gohan was talking to Tien, Yamcha, Master Roshi, 18, and Krillin himself. Gohan said that with or without his father, they have a role to play, and he already knows the proper training method for them. But Krillin isn't too confident about that. During the Tournament of Power, he did almost nothing, and he didn't even face the most powerful warriors on that occasion. What could he do against such powerful deities? He wanted to give a motivational speech like Goku, but he's not that kind of man. Master Roshi agrees with his disciple. He wants to fight, but he's already been training for almost 350 years, and he doesn't see how he can get any better. Krillin says he knows this isn't a noble way of thinking, but he belongs there with Marin and 18. Gohan doesn't like those words. He says that for years Son Goku gave his life to protect the weak. He protected them all without hesitation. If Krillin wants to stay there, then so be it, but his father and billions and millions of others are in need of their help. Krillin is clearly very touched by that speech. He doesn't seem to have a good answer to those words. Yamcha says he doesn't have a family to protect, so he's going to participate. Tien agrees. 18 calls Krillin for a private conversation. They go to another part of the house, and as Krillin closes the door, 18 says that she knows he only wants the best for them, but this whole situation isn't just about them. Krillin says he knows that. 18 says that whatever decision he makes, she will support him. If he chooses to fight, she will fight, and if he chooses to stay, she will. Krillin is scared. The time to decide what to do has arrived. At Capsule Corporation, Trunks says goodbye to his little sister. He says he knows that for her 2 years is like a lifetime, but he's going to get back as soon as he can. She must become a big and strong princess. Vegeta tells Trunks that that was enough. He should go and board the cube. Vegeta takes his little daughter and waits for everyone to leave that place. When that happens, he says goodbye to the little one, saying that her daddy will be back soon. A car arrives at that place. It was Dr. Briefs, and as soon as he sees his father-in-law, Vegeta thanks him for taking care of Bulla. Dr. Brief says it's going to be nice to take care of his little granddaughter. It's not like he has more fun things to do. While patting his son's head one last time and giving his daughter one last look, Vegeta enters the cube and says that Gohan shouldn't be long. Leaving Krillin's house, watched by Marin and 18, are Gohan, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha. The smaller warrior who was so undecided some time ago is now the one at the head of the group, telling them to get into that cube and do their best. As he sees his students saying those things, Master Roshi takes off his glasses as a sign of respect. 18 and Marin also look on proudly. Even Gohan, who had once scolded Krillin, was now smiling proudly as he watched him. The four warriors speed across the sky. They finally land at their destination. Once inside the cube, Vegeta, Trunks, and Goten observe those who have just arrived, as well as Whis himself. Illuminated by the sun, the four warriors walk towards the cube. They are ready to start this new journey. Thanks to number 17's request at the Tournament of Power, even the universes that had been erased out long ago were brought back, and with those universes resurfaced, the resentful deities who ruled them. The Mother of Angels has declared war on the Father of Angels, and now gods and mortals will need to unite to fight this war together. What will happen in these 2 years of preparation? What will each warrior do to improve their skills? Find out on the next chapter of Dragon Ball Kakumei.